when I was teaching at Cleveland, I used to go into the PE staff room, and every time I walked in, I'd open the door and say, "Scouts," like that. Just it became like
that was you. That was your thing.
Just became my thing. So that people knew that it was like me announcing that I was there, and everyone
late. Obviously, it's unfortunate there's no one in the staff room. They're all teaching. Fuck, where is everybody?
I would go, "Scouts," and they're like, "You're in lesson 1, idiot."
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit,
Bell's about to go, you moron. Hurry up.
Scouts, welcome back to the We Got the Chocolates podcast. I'm Lee.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm Andrew.
And it's great to have you back joining us. It's a Canadian club for your chats at the pub. Consider this one of your social outings for the week where we get the chance to chat all things sport, the latest news and pop culture. We Got the Chocolates. That's a win.
Nice.
Thanks. Happy? That's good.
I mean, not really.
I put up a little video explaining what We Got the Chocolates meant.
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, it's good. A lot of people appreciated it because I did not realise how many people had no idea. What about the person that said, "I thought you guys actually ran a chocolate company and this was just a side hustle"?
Strange side hustle.
For what reason would we do?
I don't know.
Strange thing to ask.
What a very weird thing. But if he was actually
taking the piss.
I'm sure he was taking the piss.
We should invest in some chocolate though. We should actually get some.
Invest in something.
And sell it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Along with our hats, obviously, which I'll mention in the housekeeping shortly.
Okay, nice.
Good.
Well,
Nice.
I'm going to start with a story. Mitch, your dog, apparently, you haven't seen her for 5 years, but
Easy. See her every Monday.
So I see her as much as you do, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Nah, maybe once on the weekend too. Anyway, I spent $90 on her when I was for my 9th birthday. So,
Yeah.
I had a big investment.
And then Mum spent all the money on every vet
bill, dog food.
Yeah, Mum had to take over from there. But
but somehow it's still Mitch's dog.
Yeah, obviously.
Ruby. She is, I think we worked out today, 16 and 7 months old.
It's a good knock.
That's a
holy
great knock.
dooly.
Great knock. Not so good of a knock last night. She has woken me up. Like, I sleep with the door open because she loves coming in and sleeping next to my bed. I sleep with the door open. Woke me up 5 times last night, which I sort of like, it's all right. Like, don't mind getting woken up because at least it means I'm letting her out for her to go to the toilet. So hopefully they don't have something to sort of, But normally it's not like that. It's like we have one maybe, and then off we go, back to bed. Everyone's sorted, sleeps through the morning. So it's like having a kid, I imagine.
Yeah. No, you know what my favourite thing about being like a parent is when people try and compare their dogs to children. Oh, yeah, now my dog did this. Oh, really? Is it the same? It's not. Grow up.
All right.
How would you know?
Hopefully
I don't have a dog or children. I've actually got both.
Hopefully this next part's not the same because it was so annoying. So the wake up 5 times, in we go, out. I'm going to the gym in the morning. Of course.
Look at that. That shirt is bloody, it's just strangling you.
Yes, it is tight.
My pet anaconda call, he wants his bloody shoulders back too.
Anaconda.
Can we get a new compilation of all the time Cody's made that joke?
I don't know.
There's only 2. Well, I told you one joke today and you hadn't heard it before.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time you say pet anaconda, I assume you're referring to something else.
Oh, me too. But you've already seen that enough.
What's I talking about? Oh,
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby. Yeah, so I walked out the garage. She's dropped the biggest turd ever.
Big King Henry the third.
Big King Henry the third, a big Anthony Tupu in the garage. I've nearly stepped on her, and she made me get up 5 times in the middle of the night and still greeted me with an absolute
big
turd.
Harry Snapper.
That's not what you're after. No. In the old age though, she's got some ordinary bowel movements. Like Mitch, remember we were working in the office the other night, and like she just lays there underneath the table, and we evacuate. Yeah, because you can just like it'll be dead silent. We're tapping away on the computer, and you just hear this.
See us.
We're like, don't you go, we'll go. Yeah. You stay there. No thanks.
Yeah, she's frail old rubs.
What do you do? Boys, onto the joke of the day.
Hang on a second, let me catch up.
You do your button.
I had to tell that bloody 10 out of 10 story.
It was good, wasn't it? Press the button, mate. You ready? You pressing it?
Yeah. Oh, you want it?
Yeah, joke
So my wife told me that sex is better on vacation.
What is I meant to be doing?
No, I thought we had like a bloody the jingle to introduce joke of the day. Do we not have that?
No.
It gets added in.
No, perfect. No, good.
We've never listened to that.
No, what I was going to say.
I mean, embrace imperfection.
Embrace imperfection.
As we always say on this show.
That was fucking terrible. No, what I was going to say, thanks to everyone for sending in their jokes. They've been mostly good. However, I sent one to Lee the other day that a listener sent in. I'm not going to repeat it. It was fucking awful, so don't send that in again.
Okay. Do you know how many jokes we get sent in?
Oh,
There's
so
gonna be
many,
one-
and most of them are really good. This one was an absolute Steven Tinker, so you know who you are. Anyway,
It's one person listening just going, oh no, was that me?
no, this one particular joke was a stinker. But I think I actually said to Liz, like, does this person actually think we're going to read this one?
Well, we did read it.
We did read it to ourselves. I thought, what are we doing? Anyway, this joke of the day was sent in by, and then it's got ... here, so I'm not sure who this was sent in by. So
The reason I didn't put it is because his name's Tony, and I know you're going to tell me your joke that you always tell.
Oh, Shinthai.
Here's how it went.
So my wife told me that sex is better on vacation. Not my favorite postcard to get.
Okay. Bloody hell. Not bad.
That's good. Thanks, Tian.
I found another one, if that's all right.
Actually, I've got one too. My mum
Chalky
sent me
sent
one.
in? Or?
Yeah, sent in by the Chalks. But Lethal, you love playing the speak bite ones, which is all well and good. But plenty of people are sending in emails and other things as well, and they're just flying under the radar. So yeah, you should get the vocals out, but I've got to cater to everyone, get a few other ones in there, and had to sieve through some R-rated jokes to stumble across this one that we can probably read out, but comes from Bud Madden.
Not Budweiser, by any chance?
Apparently not. I don't even think.
He didn't he invent the NFL games? Madden? You ever watch them?
Yes, it's a good joke. He doesn't get it. But
No, I kind of get it. It's just
a good effort. Nice try.
Yeah. Anyways, joke is, I walked into a bookstore and asked the lady if she had any books about turtles. She said, hardback. I said, yeah, and they normally have little heads too.
I like that. I'm really glad you read that out.
I got one. My mum sent me one today. Like, mum never texts me about anything, really, unless it's important. This wasn't important. This was just a joke that mum sent in. So
That's
she said,
important.
Yeah, she said, maybe a podcast fill. I said, yes, mum, we need some space to fill. So Daffy Duck and Elmer Fudd break into a distillery. Daffy turns to Elmer and says, is this whiskey? Elmer says, yes, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank.
That's really good.
I like that.
Very good. Thanks,
that's
Mum.
a strong joke of the day.
That was good. Well done, everybody.
Well done. And well, that takes us on perfectly to housekeeping. And I've already alluded to the hats, and those watching on YouTube will notice that we're all wearing them. Just a wild coincidence. I don't know how that happened.
We did not tee that up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, they're finally out and about. They're doing it. They'll be fully properly available tomorrow as you're listening to this, because it's only available on Thursday. And
Well done. Good job.
yeah. So on the Friday they'll drop. So just head over to our website, grab yourself one, and enjoy it. So,
I think what will happen is everyone will listen to the podcast on Thursday, then they'll decide we need to have a day of rest tomorrow so we can get the hats.
exactly. Yeah.
But you might even be lucky and actually get the ones that Lee, Mitch, and myself are actually wearing in the podcast. It's a lucky dip.
Huge chance.
We signed them.
Yeah.
Not with a signature.
Right. And anything else? Oh, we wanted to ask for reviews.
Yeah, we did. We've hit a drought. Someone even emailed in saying, I can't be bothered reviewing. Thanks. If you could be bothered going back and reviewing,
It's actually
really
harder to do an email, to be honest with you.
Telling us we're great and not everyone else defeats the purpose. But yeah, thanks.
I feel like sometimes we have to be serious. It actually helps us a lot. I can't make that clear enough. It pumps us up the charts. It gets new people on Apple and Spotify to be able to to be able to see us and go, because people go, well, there's something happening at We Got the Chocolates headquarters.
Exactly. So, plenty happening. Yeah. You've got to spread the word to everyone. It's an important
Glad
message.
you said word.
It genuinely helps a great deal. And we also got this sent in as well. Another one, voice message sent in.
Hello, Scouts. Still very confused if Scouts at the beginning means we're all
Is that Mick?
Boy Scouts or we're scouting for something. Appreciate some clarity. All the best, boys. Keep it up.
I think this has been asked before, mentioned. How do you always justify it?
Yes, of course. The answer is because Lee's an idiot.
Yeah. I have no idea why I started doing it, and I didn't start it on the podcast. When I was teaching at Cleveland, I used to go into the PE staff room, and every time I walked in, I'd open the door and say "Scouts" like that. It became like
That was you. That was your thing.
Just became my thing.
As
So
you
that
do,
people
I
knew that
suppose.
it was like me announcing that I was there, and everyone
Late, obviously. It's unfortunate there's no one in the staff room. They're all teaching. Oh, fuck, where is everybody?
I would go Scouts, and they're like, "You're in lesson one, idiot." Like, oh, shit,
Bell's about to go, you moron. Hurry up.
That's where it came from. I started doing it there, and then just incorporated it into the podcast.
Yeah.
And no one pushed back hard enough for me to stop.
Yeah, here we all are. And that doesn't answer the question at all, but sorry.
Well, That's the best we got.
I genuinely don't have another reason. Scout. We don't know. Scout masters, but it's not for scouting for something.
No.
It's scouts is a term of endearment. Let's go with that. All right, very good.
Nice work. Good podcasting.
All right, we got to catch up with Kate McCarthy earlier and have a chat about probably a subject that's a big talking point at the moment, a current affair, you might say, Skin. And this is exactly how it went. All right, guys, big news in Australia over the last probably week and a bit, and it stems from AFL, but it's probably more encompassing of a larger talking point. Rex Hunt, who is an AFL player, or ex-player, commentator, very ex now.
I don't think he's taking too many pack marks at the moment.
Former commentator, fishing enthusiast. You may know him actually just as the guy who always kissed the fish and threw him back. That's how I knew him. I didn't even realise he was an AFL ex-player or commentator until I listened to a Dylan Friends podcast that interviewed him. That was how I worked it out. Anyway, he made headlines last week over a Facebook rant about networks pandering to gender quotas when broadcasting, essentially saying that he would much rather hear from ex-AFL player Wayne Carey because of his wonderful pedigree as a player and commentator rather than current AFLW Melbourne Demons captain Daisy Pearce. Here's a quote from that rant. He, I assume, as he's talking about his producer, Channel 7's producer, he, I assume, was forced into such a weak, gutted, sit-down and piss decision by pressure to have equal genders everywhere. Dermot Brereton then came out and said he also prefers Carey to Pearce. I'm not sure who asked, but he made...
It sounded like Dermot to bloody put his nose in where it doesn't belong, does it?
That's right. And Pearce now, Daisy Pearce, was all class, as we'll get into in a second, with her response when speaking on SEN later in the week. However, I would suggest that because this is a discussion that particularly affects a different, probably, demographic of people than to what we have represented on our podcast. I thought it was quite important and integral to hear from a different perspective and different source. And that is why we have current Hawthorn AFLW player and footy commentator for Triple M Footy, Kate McCarthy, on the phone with us. Kate, have we got you there?
Yes, you've got me here, Lee.
Wow, that's much better.
That went really good. Compared to last time.
So much better compared to when we had you on Zoom. Kate, I don't know if you've met Andrew officially. You have actually been on the We Got the Chocolates podcast before. Mitch and I were researching episode 17.
Yeah.
This is Kate McCarthy special.
That's a long time before I was summoned.
And it was also a long time before we got proper microphones, which hurt.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I thought it was only like the first 2 or 3 years were...
No, we sucked for ages. Kate made us better, obviously. Go back and listen to that one.
I think 17 was a real boom of the podcast. After that, it was on the rise.
Still our most downloaded, truly.
That's where it started. Now, Kate, you started with the Brisbane Lions in the AFLW, then went to the Saints, and then this year you'll turn out for Hawthorn, which is their first year in the competition as well, isn't it? Which is exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I've kind of been to the point now where I've been at 3 clubs when they first started. So I've played for 6 years and I've never had a jersey presentation because every other person on the field is also getting their first jersey. So
wow, yeah.
Been a little bit disappointing, but you get through, you push through.
Yeah, well, we can probably get you up like a We Got the Chocolates Guernsey done up or something and present that if you like.
Yeah.
Actually,
that would be very special.
You got a cord hat already, I noticed today.
Yeah, I did jump on. I saw how brilliant that they looked, so jumped on and bought myself one of those. Very, very nice. I did go the navy, but the black looks good on you, Lee, so maybe I should have got a black or maybe I could just get both. Who knows?
You.
It's slimming, isn't it, that shirt as well?
I've gone, yes. No. It's actually a real coincidence that we're all wearing them tonight. That wasn't on purpose at all. Or was it?
Yeah. Mitch asked us literally 5 minutes ago, should we wear the hats?
Anyway, we digress. Kate, I guess I wanted to start by just leaving it almost open for you. And I assume that this is probably a story that you've been across.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
And does it? What's your initial reaction, I guess, when you probably see the first comments that come originally from sort of Rex Hunt having a rant on a Facebook friends profile, but then sort of the fallout from that as well?
I think it's really nothing new. It just seems to be, who wants to say what at what time at the moment. And I mean, and Daisy did sum it up really perfectly. And I'm sure you'll touch on that soon, but like, we're just kind of used to it now as female athletes. And as someone that's played in the AFLW, we've been subjected to a lot of criticism over the way that we play. So I don't see why the way that we commentate would be any different. Someone's always got a problem with something. So I think it's just the way that we're sort of moving in a new direction as a society. And I think some of the people that have grown up in a different society are really struggling to come to terms with
the
that.
Triassic era, you mean?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Struggling to, I guess, accept that and maybe accept that, like, yeah, football is moving on, AFL is moving on, as well as the rest of society is moving on.
Yes. And I think what I find troubling about it particularly is the same people that do give these criticisms about, they're not high enough scoring, they're not entertaining enough games, et cetera, et cetera. They're also the same people that will say, give it time. Like the men played for years and years before they got to the level that it's at now. But then these type of like having representation of a female commentator like Daisy Pearce on TV is actually good. I think I will go into that quote because it's the perfect time to bring it up. This is what Daisy Pearce said to Gerard Whateley, I believe, on SEN. I'd say that whilst it might be ruining football for Rex, there might be people out there that can connect and engage with football better now that there is a greater diversity in the broadcast team, whether it be gender, race, background, whatever it is, which I think is such a good, it's such a good quote because that's exactly right. Like for games to try and grow and get better, like I don't think there's anyone in society that would think that having AFLW be successful is not good for AFL in general. Everyone would say, yeah, that'd be great. Like it'd be awesome if we can get to that. Then what do we do to actually contribute and make sure that it does happen or fast track it slightly?
Yeah, well, I would say the thing that needs to be sort of done is looking into, I guess, full-time professionalism is the thing that's going to fast track it as much as they sort of are leaning away from that at the moment. I mean, the huge pay rise that we just got, that's a huge step in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, exactly what she said is like Daisy's just summed it up brilliantly. And I think the thing that she was hoping that it would just kind of go away because as she said earlier in the interview, the more that she responds or the more people that bring it up, the longer it just sort of stays in the news. And yeah, like I said earlier, we're very used to being criticised for the way that we do things as women because it's not the way that men do things or not the way that other people have traditionally done things. But yeah, like if someone can see themselves in the broadcast now because of Daisy and her insights, well, that's someone that would have been lost to football media earlier in life without her there. But the other thing I think that that men in the industry and people like Derm and Rex don't consider is that we already know that we're like one of the few women that are doing this. Like when I remember the first night that I did special comps for Triple M in Melbourne, all the broadcast boxes are glass in, I think it was marble. And you can see who's in the broadcast box next to you all the way down, all the way up. And I just had a look around and I was like, wow, I am only woman up here. Like there are ex-men's players, traditional callers, and every single one of them was a male. And I was just like, oh, like it's very intimidating. First of all, it kind of makes you question whether one, you should be there, or two, just like the whole gender quota thing. Oh, am I doing this because I'm actually good enough or am I doing this because they sort of needed a woman up here? And I was the next best choice.
Yeah, right. I sort of wanted to ask you about that because that was part of his point was about not pandering to gender quotas, I suppose, which is, although I probably didn't love exactly how he worded it, is something that kind of you could see an argument for not just having blind quotas, like regardless of any external factors. But like, is that something that actually happens? Like, are there gender quotas, or is that just based on the fact that there are a few women that he's noticed that he's not particularly happy listening to their commentary, I suppose? Yeah,
well, I think, and Daisy again said this, like there's always been a gender quota. It's just been 100% male, like regardless of how people want to put it. Like there's always been a gender quota. It's just that it's been dominated by males. And no, I think broadcast wise, like it's a commercial revenue that they're raising by having the best broadcast in the team that they can have. So why would they diminish the broadcast by having someone that's not up to standard on there? So I think that's completely false. The better the broadcast is, the more the broadcast deal's worth. Therefore, the higher paid the deal is. So yeah, I would say that's complete rubbish.
Yeah, and it strikes me as odd that it's like a conversation at the moment. Like you would think it would become an issue if there were like enforced quotas of it has to be bloody 90% women or something. But when it's like 10 or 20% and it's still such a small minority, it's odd that it's even a conversation, really.
Yeah. If it is a quota, they're not really meaning much of a quota if that's what it is.
Yeah. The other thing that I just think that I don't agree with about the comments is that necessarily being a great ex-player makes you a good commentator, and we've said this.
We discuss this so often. I'm more of a league person, but like you listen to a few of the old NRL guys on Fox Sports, but like listening to Blocker Roach and Mick Ennis commentate is nails on the chalkboard sort of stuff. So like it, just like you said, just because you're not a 300 game ex-player, like that doesn't necessarily mean you're the next Ray Warren. You know what I mean? Like it's not. They don't go hand in hand.
Yeah. And Dermot Brereton was like, "Oh, Daisy Pearce is a great commentator in her own right, but she's not Wayne Carey." Like, well, who cares?
But like, what? So
because the best commentators are like Hutto, like Anthony Hudson is a gun, like Dennis Cometti. Freak.
Well, the best, commentators,
not,
they bounce off each other, like with different personalities mesh with different personalities. Like just because you're not Wayne Carey doesn't mean why is that a bad thing?
No, exactly. And the other thing,
and all commentators aren't carbon copies of Wayne Carey.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of commentators that aren't Wayne Carey as well, and like he has his own style of commentary, and as like doing special comments, so do I. So does Daisy Thomas, who I work really closely with. Mm-hmm. So does Lee Montagna. Like even in the league space, Cameron Smith doesn't sound like Jonathan Thurston when they commentate, and someone's going to prefer Cameron Smith and someone's going to prefer Jonathan Thurston. So it doesn't mean that everyone needs to sound the same, and that's probably why you need a point of difference to appeal to different people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's such a subjective thing. Geez, that was a tongue twister, but got there in the end. Like, it's such a subjective thing that, like, obviously someone's going to prefer one person and someone's going to prefer another person, and that's fine. But why would you? I can't understand, like, singling out one person who's done nothing wrong and like in a public forum. I suppose if you have that opinion and hold it privately, then there's probably no issue. But such a strange personal attack.
Well, like Dermot Brereton, particularly, who's ever come out in public and sprayed another person that they work with, like another colleague, and he was like, "Oh, I got misrepresented and stuff." But who's ever done that and come out and gone, "Actually, the person I work with is not as good as this other person I work with." I found that strange in itself.
Oh, I say that about you too all the time. Yeah. Like I say, we got lots of people in the
But is that fair as well, Kate? Would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're all professionals, and I think the way that you work with people, there's obviously people that you work really well with and people that you probably don't work as well with. But as a professional, you don't ever come out and say, "Oh, look, this person's actually far better than this person," or "Oh, this person's not as good as this one," or "I prefer to work with this person." Like in any industry, it doesn't matter what it is, but even in such a heavily scrutinized industry, the media, wouldn't say that that's probably very common practice. But yeah, like who knows the context of which Dermot said those things. I just think it just added fuel to the fire that was really unnecessary. I think the disappointing thing from my perspective has also been like whether Daisy has said she doesn't want people to do it. I'm not sure, and that could be accurate, but the lack of probably people that have come out in support of her that are her colleagues. It could have just simply, I don't know, just a tweet or something saying how much they love Daisy and how much they love working with her and how good she is at her job.
That's a good point.
But that could have been a personal thing that she said, "Look, please just don't," because it just keeps it in the news for longer and longer.
Because there were lots of people people that I guess consume it that did come out, and journalists definitely that came out and said Daisy Pearce is a wonderful analyst and actually very insightful and very good in the moment. And there were lots of people probably that actually watch that were quite supportive. But then you're right, no one of note that certainly would be like a fellow employee, I guess.
And we see it along the lines with even with the Taylor Walker incident from was it last season as well. Year, it seems to be always the person who hasn't really done anything wrong, and even the Megan Barnard incident from earlier this year as well, that they seem to be having to take the high road a lot of the time as well. Yeah. Like they're sort of having to I'll shake it off and just move on sort of thing. Where why should they be put in a situation like that in the first place?
To build on that too is like the headline that I saw today was Daisy Pearce breaks silence on this comment. I was like, why is she
what's she done?
She didn't do anything wrong. Why does she have to break her silence? She just got dragged into something she didn't even want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like by her not saying anything, it wasn't exactly her being silent. It was just her choosing not to respond to something like that. It's not like he came out and asked her a question and she didn't respond. Like that's silence. But why do you have to respond to something like that you've been dragged into without any fault of your own?
Yeah, great. And Kate, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but just the other point that I wanted to make as well, I think is important, and this is with all due respect to the job that you do for Triple M as a commentator, but I just think that who cares that much? Like, when has your weekend ever been ruined because you're like, oh, bloody Wayne Carey didn't commentate on the weekend? Like, the commentary is more for the people that are trying to learn the game and get involved anyway. Like, you need commentators so that they can provide some sort of analysis for people that are trying to learn the game. Like, how many times have you sat at home watching South Sydney, who you're dedicated to, and gone, bloody, the commentary is just, I
can't stand this, but I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like, that's who the commentators are for. It's for people that are trying to fall in love with the game and understand it.
Yeah.
So if you're really that big of a fan of footy, you don't sit there and go, no, Wayne Carey's on, I'm not watching.
Nah, see you later.
Yeah, in saying that, I've had the opposite experience, though. A lot of people will only listen to the games that I commentate.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That makes sense.
So, like, obviously you wouldn't turn a game off because of the commentator, but you probably would tune in and listen if you knew that it was me that was on the commentary. Yeah. So that's really flattering.
If Lee was commentating, I'd probably turn it off, though, to be honest with you.
Or at least mute it.
Yeah. At least mute it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they put your face on it, though. You look bloody good tonight.
Thanks, man. Yeah, probably with this hat.
Yeah.
Black one's quite good for sale, I think. Tomorrow. Well, Kate, that has been magnificent. You've provided great insight. It was really important that we actually got a perspective that was different to our own, I guess, and you've been great there, not only with this isolated incident, but with an overall sort of emphasis and overarching view on it as well, which has been great.
Yeah, no worries at all, guys. Thank you so much for having me. And keep up the great work and keep up. Everyone, jump on, buy a hat. They're awesome.
They are just simply wonderful.
I'm still getting made to buy one too, Kate, so you could have a word to those two.
Yeah, that's right. You could probably use it as a tax deduction, though, because we have seen your face.
Cool. Great idea. Great idea.
Apparently these cord hats are actually making headlines.
Shut up.
God. I thought that was my best game.
I've heard you do better. I'll be honest with
you. Thank you, Kate. We'll speak very soon.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, legend. See ya.
Bye.
Guys, we've got Miko here back on the mic, back from his holiday. Hello, buddy.
Hey,
how
you going?
Yeah, never better.
Looking good, mate.
Yeah, looking bloody
feel
great
great
and healthy. That's a holiday hangover if I've ever seen it.
More importantly, how are you going in the world?
Not well, but I'm here.
That's good.
You made it. Well done.
Back from bloody Queenstown. Anyway, the reason I got Mikos on is because a game that he invented, well, not invented, patented.
Yeah, pretty much invented.
All right. Two Truths and a Lie from a couple of weeks ago with the Simpsons. We've rebranded it.
We've got a little sound effect to remind people.
Yes, I thought you did.
Not Joe, man. I want to be a Nacho Man.
So that actually, nearly pressed it twice. That actually was just one Michael used last time. So it's a fill-in jingle, but I also had an idea for a jingle today.
Oh, I was going to ask you on the phone today if you had a jingle.
No, you tell us what you're calling it.
Well, we've decided in true we got the chocolate factor to change it up a little bit. So we're going to be calling it Two Bad Roofs and an Annabelle.
Perfect. It just makes sense, really.
It does.
And then I would like the jingle to be some of like commentary of Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth was like from
Bradman era. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a Bradman.
I saw a photo of him and Bradman next to each other the other day. Did you see that?
That's like a thing.
That was cool,
yeah. Anyway.
You know, Photoshop's a thing, Skin.
Great point. Was that false?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. Okay.
Genuinely a thing. Anyway,
looks so well done. Someone's very good at Photoshop if that wasn't real.
Yeah. Can we Photoshop a hat on Michael's head?
Put your Homer Simpson hat it back on.
That was a good
so Babe Ruth.
And then we'll get some Anna Bly quotes and we'll just mash them into one. And
nice.
Then
Mashed and Kutcher style.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. Good people.
Did they sing beers? Was that them?
I don't know, mate. It's not really my type of music, but I mean, I'm sure they're lovely blokes. But anyway, you are on fire tonight. But anyway, this game is basically I'm going to give you guys. Well, the topic tonight's actually movie quotes. All right. So I'm going to give you guys 3 lines from movies. 2 of them are from the same movie, a popular movie, and one of them is not from that movie. So what I want you to do, all right, I want you to tell me first of all, I want you to tell me the movie, and I want you to tell me the line that's wrong.
Oh, shit. So you don't even tell us the movie title. Okay.
Absolutely.
I hate that I got brought into this.
Yeah, absolutely not. These are all really popular movies that
think
you probably have all seen, or a lot of people would have seen. All right. I'll admit, I'm quite nervous here. I did this segment yesterday and like prepped it and everything.
Unbelievable.
It is
That
good.
does blow the mind.
Yeah, so Dave and I could not have been busier bloody peeling prawns, the both of us. Anyway, so let's see if this works. All right. So we're going to start. No looking.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I looked down and then realised straight away what I was doing.
We're going to start moving number 1. All right. So there's three quotes. All right. Quote number 1. Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass.
Okay.
Quote 2.
I know this movie.
Hang on. I thought you had it on the buttons. No?
Well, not yet. Do you remember playing this?
No, not at all.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah, gotcha. All right, sorry.
Read the segment for me.
Sorry, mate. Apologies.
Quote number 2. Just be the ball. Be the ball. Be the ball. You're not being the ball. Quote number 3. I didn't get a chance to see him play. I was too busy winning.
All right.
Okay, well, I know the movie's Happy Gilmore.
Well, I was going to say Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's 2 or 3 because I feel like they're both variations of real quotes.
Yeah. Yeah.
1 and 3's got to be in the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing 2.
Nah.
Be the ball.
But-
I'm sure he says be the ball at some stage.
Really? No, I think he says, "Are you too good for your home?"
Just tap it in.
Tap. Give it a tap,
Okay.
tap, tap.
But what about when he's doing that thing with the hips and he's like swaying his hips?
all in the
It's
hips.
all in- yeah,
It's
that's
all
true.
in
Okay,
the
lock
hips.
in 2 then, should we?
No, do you want to play? Okay, do you want to play?
R1, C1, R2, D2.
Yeah. Movie 1, sound 1.
So that's round 1, C1.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, shit,
This could
nervous.
be
I'm
good.
nervous.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass.
And R1, C2.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see him play.
Nice.
I was too busy winning.
Well done, boys.
Nice.
Nice work.
Lovely.
And I think
I love
quote
this
2
game.
was from Caddyshack, actually. So I tried to make it a bit golf themed as well. There you go.
Okay.
All right, movie number 2. I'm an early bird and I'm a night owl. So I'm wise and have worms.
Shit. I don't know that one.
I've got no idea.
How would the fuck is?
I really enjoy a nice pair of slacks.
Oh, wait, I know that.
Quote 3. The arsonist has oddly shaped feet.
This is from Anchorman, I reckon.
Yeah, all right.
I want to say.
Okay. I'll back you. Give us number 1 again, sorry.
I'm an early bird and I'm a night owl. So I'm wise and have worms.
I mean, that is a good quote. I don't think it's from. I don't know if. No, because I'm thinking of slacks as in I really enjoyed. No, that was the pattern in the pants that I'm thinking of. The pattern in the pleats or whatever.
I have
from Anchorman.
nothing to offer right now.
Yeah, no,
Sorry. I don't know any of them.
Yeah,
don't even
I'm
know
not
if we've
getting
got
it.
the right
I think-
movie.
let's lock in Anchorman. Quote 1's not the right
Yeah,
one.
that's what we're going.
Can you play movie 2, number 1?
And I really enjoy a nice pair of slacks.
It has to be Anchorman.
And can I have movie 2, quote 2?
The arsonist has oddly shaped feet.
Come on.
Well done. Anchorman was the movie. The false one was number 1. You were both correct. And it is from The Office. It's Michael Scott from The Office.
My God.
Really? Oh, I forgot we had this too.
Oh my God.
Nice work.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
literally just finished The Office last week.
It is the greatest.
The
It's one
entire
of,
series.
I think time for probably our podcast when we do it later. Top 5 movie shows. Don't have to answer. No, save it for our podcast, obviously.
I'm not going to say nothing. I'm
thought
going to
your
waste it on
podcast
these guys. Are you
Yeah, I
kidding?
know.
Is your podcast Simpsons themed?
No,
Oh, you're branching out already.
No, no.
Before
We,
making it episode.
we could
Change niches already.
we couldn't have more sponsors.
They're just buying our pop culture
yeah.
subsidiary. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because you guys do it so well. Anyway,
Well, we're 2 from 2.
all right, movie number 3. I reckon you'll struggle with this one, or maybe not.
shit.
All right, quote number 1. You mean like horse? No, it's not like horse. Quote number 2. And if no clear winner emerges from all of this, a 2-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays. Quote number 3. I'm going to give us both 2s back there. We weren't in any emotional state.
What are we talking about?
Man.
I felt like I knew that second one.
I think I did as well.
I thought I knew the second one. That was the only one.
I didn't have a clue where it's from. There'd be people in the cars at the moment like screaming.
I know.
This is one of my all-time favourite movies. Like this is
Probably
top,
something real shit.
probably top 5.
No,
for
it'll
me.
be. Hang on, go. Give us number 2 again.
Just number 2.
Yeah.
And if no clear winner emerges from all of this, a 2-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays.
Where would that make sense?
That is, it's pretty funny.
Surely one of your
Will Ferrell movie or something.
one of your all-time favorite movies would surely be like a Step Brothers or something. You strike me as one of those.
I reckon
kind of
he's
guys.
more of an Adam Sandler.
I was going to say Billy Madison.
Yeah.
When, but I was like, is he going to go to Adam Sandler?
Yeah, he'd do
I don't
2
know.
Adam Sandler. He loves
would,
Adam
he
Sandler.
would.
I need an answer, please, gentlemen.
He loves Adam Sandler.
I
We
don't
know
know.
2's correct.
Do we?
Well, that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, let's assume that. Yeah.
So which one sucked?
I can't even
I
remember.
think the first one sucked. The third one sounded familiar as well. Give us the third one again. Sorry, gang.
I'm going to give us both 2s back there. We weren't in any emotional state.
Sounds like Billy
I
Madison.
think. Does it? All right.
Oh,
Billy Madison, number 1's wrong.
Michael said that. So
Yeah.
all right, what do you
Keep
want?
in mind I said Step Brothers.
All right,
just in
can I
case.
please have movie 3, quote 1?
You mean like horse?
Damn it.
No, it's not like horse.
Oh,
I still haven't got
Still
it.
don't
Can
know
I,
it.
can I please have movie 3, quote 2?
wait, is this Dumb and Dumber?
And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a 2-man sack race will be held on.
Cut off a bit early. Isn't it?
Nah, blame the
What is
bloody
that?
website.
Is that Dumb and Dumber?
No, the movie is Baseketball.
Oh my God, that's a great film.
That is a great flick.
And the false quote was from Space Jam.
Okay.
Wait, so the false one was the
False
one we
word,
said
false one was number 3. I'm going to give us both 2s back, but there we weren't in any emotional state.
right.
You want to know the worst part about all of this?
What?
Gode messaged me last night and goes, "Hey, have you seen Baseketball?"
Yeah.
And I replied,
I thought you were taking the
replied, yes, such a good movie. Haven't seen it in probably 15 years.
It's a great movie.
And that didn't bother you.
Oh, I literally just said to him
Thanks,
then,
Mick.
I looked at him before and I go, is Baseketball one of them? And he just kind of looks at me and then looks away. I just got so...
It's disappointing. I mean, there's only so much I can do.
Thanks for trying.
really good game.
And you have
That's
to
a
choose
strong
Banana Block. I think it's a
game.
great. I'm happy to run with that segment. I love that stuff.
Yeah, definitely one easy one. I think that really ropes us in. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, like it.
I
Well
did not
done
see
again.
Basketball
Another
coming.
success.
I need to go and watch that now. That's funny.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't
a
seen
great
that. I haven't seen that in a long
Probably
time either.
We'll just watch that.
Are you happy to accept submissions from the jockeys for your?
I'd actually request them. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
You would
I
request
encourage
them.
them.
You
I
encourage
encourage
them.
them strongly.
Are you talking specific movies or other
No,
themes
I
as
think
well?
with this
Themes?
game, I think we've done some done moves. Like I think song lyrics is a good one.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
TV shows,
Yeah.
any of that type of stuff. I reckon.
Lee's best cricket innings, maybe.
Yeah,
We might skip that one.
Songs are very hard lyrics. When you just read them out. I did a trivia night the other week.
Yeah.
I went to a pub and they did trivia and they did song lyrics.
Well,
and
you're
it was
talking to the
very
man who
difficult.
can rap God as soon as the music stops.
Yeah, and if you give me the lyrics from one artist, I'll be good. Yeah.
I think, but again, we'd make him popular.
Remember that night Michael was like, I reckon I could do this. Play any song. And we literally played fucking like 12 songs. He did not know one.
It was like the
line,
slowest
not one.
paced music.
He was like, all right, no, play anything from Greatest Showman. I'm really good. I put like Other Side, started playing it. I was like, Mick, the song's like, we're halfway through the first verse. Yeah. He still hasn't sung one word.
Oh, I just got nervous. I swear I can do it.
Thanks, Kingers.
You happy with that?
Real good.
Alrighty, I'm on for a little skin stats segment, I believe. I'm a stat man.
Stop fucking doing that.
You can't tell me that's not the best jingle we have.
Oh, the jingle was
well.
good. Whatever that was it?
No, I was.
Oh, you're fucking drying yourself off.
I did the. I did the.
I said drying.
Yeah. What gets wetter the more it dry skin?
Towel.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me all about it.
Okay, thank you, Lethal. Brilliant. All right.
Subtly good, wasn't it?
So, skin stats segment inspired by Lance Franklin over the weekend, surpassing Gary Ablett Senior on the AFL's list of all-time goal kickers, kicking his 1,032nd goal.
Should we shout out Nick Benton while we're there? Great fellow Nick Benton.
Yeah.
Big Buddy Franklin fan.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. No, I was struggling to see the connection, but go for it. Yeah.
Remember
Nice.
he was saying he was going to get nude when he kicks his 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
He probably did, just not in public.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Just
not on
wasn't
the
there.
field. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. But yeah, no, so he's done that. And yeah, that just got me having a look at the top goal scorer in the AFL and then across other sports, I suppose, and other stats and things like that. And I've sort of got two little things that I would like to share with you and get your opinion on. Gode, particularly your opinion on the last one. I'm going to save the rugby league for the end and see if you can offer us some expertise, mate. But yeah, so having a look at things like is a guy like Lance Franklin likely to ever become number one? And across different sports, and then secondly, what's the gap between the current number one and the current number two, and who leads by who's the best? I guess who leads their stat by the furthest? I guess is what I was interested in.
Nice stat.
So the current number one in the AFL for goal kicking is obviously Tony Lockett with 1,360 in front of Gordon Coventry on 1,299. So that's a lead of 4.5%. Which is not bad.
Do you know what they used to call Tony Lockett? His nickname? Well, his real nickname was Plugger.
Plugger.
Yeah, right.
His fake nickname was...
This is going to be good. I can't wait.
Throw away the key.
God, you look so angry at him. Why do you get so angry at him? You know what you bloody do when you leave the bloody house, mate? Tony Lockett.
Yeah, got it. Very good. Anyways, so that's nice. That's the AFL.
I don't know what about Coventry, unfortunately.
There was another thing that I didn't write in my stats because I ended up...
That'd be the only thing you haven't written there. Jesus Christ. You need more ink.
But no, the other point I was going to make about the AFL was that, Tony Lockett broke the record in the late 90s, I think.
Yeah. It was at the SCG, I reckon. He kicked the goal. I can't remember who it was against, and they flooded the field.
Yeah, okay. And so he's had it ever since, which is quite a long time. But I think Coventry had it before that since 1930 or something absurd. It was like 25,000 days. It was a long time. Anyways, so there's that.
As long as Ruby's been alive.
Ruby actually saw him kick it.
Anyways, but yeah, so Lance Franklin going at the current rate, he needs to play another 107 games to be number one, basically, which is there's 23 round games. Yeah, that's obviously assuming he goes at his current rate. 23 round games a season, that's another 4.5 years, assuming no injuries, suspensions, etc., which would make him 39. So I'd love to see it. See what happens.
I think he wants one more year.
Does he? Okay. Great.
So give it to him, sir, again.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, so that's the AFL. Then I've had I wanted to save NRL to the end, so I went overseas, had a look at the NFL, their touchdowns. Jerry Rice with 208 is in front by 15.
Oh, you know his bloody sister, bloody Jasmine.
Yeah.
That'll do me, I think.
That's really good. That's really good.
That was a Rice, man.
That's it.
Sorry, mate, we were boring you.
It just blows my mind that I still write skin stats segments, knowing that this happens every time. Anyways, he leads Emmett Smith on 175. The baseball home runs, if you don't mind, Gig, I'll just press on over there.
Keep going. You're doing a bloody good job, mate. Just scroll down there a bit longer, mate. There's a bit more to go.
Barry Bonds, 762.
Oh, the underpants man, Barry Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds. 0.9% lead on Hank Aaron at 755. That's home runs. Runs there's a 2.18% lead. Ricky Henderson over Ty Cobb. And then
going on there.
Baseball strikeouts, pitchers, most strikeouts, Nolan Ryan, 5,714 is a 14.68% lead. Which is quite significant. Then basketball, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38,387 is a 3.
He was in a couple of movies too, Kareem, like genuinely. Airplane with Leslie Nielsen. I'm fairly certain. I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. All right.
And he also goes really good on pikelets. Kareem.
Did you mean to say scones?
Pikelets
are all right.
Overrated.
Pancakes, whatever. Yeah, that's good. Anyways, 38,000 points.
Get one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but you did it. Well done.
That is impressive. So that's a 3.45% lead on LeBron James at 37,062. And at his current rate over his whole career, he only needs to play another 49 games to take LeBron. Yeah,
they do that in a week.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, they play 82 games a year, I think. So, they play 82 games a year, but I don't know, has he been injured or something? I think he only played 52 this season.
Only 52.
Yeah, only 52. He's only played every day. But
final series.
Yeah. So he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he should. If he doesn't do anything too silly, he should bring it up next year. Yeah, so good on him, the big man. Cricket. Sachin Tendulkar, 15,900. That's a 15.97% lead on Ricky Ponting. 13,378. That's test runs. Wickets is Muralidharan, 800. 11.5% lead on Warney, 708. Yeah, so that's and then in the NRL we have Ken Irvine, 212, which has been the way for I think
I don't think anyone
5 decades.
I didn't think they never thought anything would beat Irvine's record. 212
tries in his NRL career at just over that many games. I think it was 230 odd games, like nearly a try a game. That's a 10.38% lead on Billy Slater with 190, so he's 22 behind him.
Beamos was around there as well, a little bit under Slater. Brett Morris.
Yeah. But Slater played truckloads of games. I think 300 and lots. Millions of the suckers. Anyways, so finishing that, I think the biggest lead then is Sachin Tendulkar in cricket. I think he's
highest percentage.
He also played Sachin played 200 Test matches as well. It was just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, that's true. That obviously.
How many did Ricky Ponting play?
168.
Okay.
Wow.
That's quite good knowledge.
Same as Steve Waugh.
Exact same.
Yeah, there you go. You should be running skin stats. But anyways.
No, it'd be a lot shorter.
Anyways, so
not as many words written in the document.
It would be shorter because you wouldn't be interrupting to tell puns.
You would be.
No, I wouldn't be because I don't have any fucking puns.
What do you mean? You did that Egypt one about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and I haven't done one since. So
we literally keep coming back to
one
that.
every 5 weeks.
Yeah, you went over there, sat under the fridge for a second and said, I've got one. Hold on, boys, we're on.
Yes, now they leave me alone for 7 weeks.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, so that's the percentages. Tendulkar's furthest out in front. Then the question becomes in the NRL is someone going to break Ken Irvine's lead? And Alex Johnston, it looks like he's on track as far as I can tell, which I wanted to get your opinion on, again, because he plays for the South Sydney Rabbitohs and always has, and you're a big South Sydney Rabbitohs fan. But yeah, he's scored 155 tries from 182 games.
So that's an incredible strike rate,
which is mental. So that's 0.85%. But I'm pretty sure he played 50-odd games at fullback.
He also, I could be wrong, but I reckon he had a game where he scored 5 at fullback, though.
Okay.
Yeah. But he, especially the last few years, the way the game's moved and a lot more points being scored as well. And whilst we haven't won a comp in the last 3 years, we've been probably close to the best attacking side in the comp. And Cody Walker's plays on the left-hand side, who's usually gets the most try assists or in and around the most try assists. And Alex Johnston's our left winger.
Yes.
So it's a perfect storm, really. He's a phenomenal finisher.
Yeah,
perfect Rabbitohs, you might
Perfect storm.
Good. But no,
because he plays for the Rabbitohs.
I got it. Yeah, not the Storm. Yeah.
Nice. So you can see it happening. You might say.
I can see it happening. Yeah, and he's been pretty lucky. From the top of my head, he hasn't had any real major injuries either as well. So touch wood. And he's young enough to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to get to before you took over. But he's going at 0.85. I'm pretty sure when he was as a winger, I think he's going at just over 1 try a game.
It's amazing,
which is mental. So if he keeps going at 1 try a game, he only needs 55 more to break the record, or if he goes at his career record, he needs another 67. So either way, assuming no injuries,
3 years,
injuries, retirements, suspensions, yada yada yada, it should bring it up to 2025.
He'd be 29, 30 as well, I reckon too. He's not that old.
I think he'll be 30 in 2025.
Yeah. What? Oh, so he's still that young.
He's only 27 or something.
Yeah. No,
he's got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Do you have a prediction, date-wise, Skin, for 2025?
If you get this right, because this will be episode about 471.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Dave, write this down.
Round 12.
Of what year?
2025.
Yeah. Okay. Round 12, 2025. Yeah. I wonder who the Rabbitohs playing. That fixture's probably not out yet.
Probably not. Nah, they'll get there.
Dolphins.
But yeah, all right. Well, there you go. I was going to ask. I was going to ask you if you think that like Adam Reynolds leaving the Rabbitohs could have an impact on that and make him less likely or make him slow down or something like that. But you obviously still seem pretty confident.
No, not necessarily. Obviously, I'd still love to have Adam there. I think we've joked about this a bit on this podcast with Adam Reynolds leaving, because Brisbane are going really well as well. But I think Souths now are really Lockie Illis is going really, really well. I think it's actually worked out really good for both because Illis is is playing really well now. The young halfback is taking over, and Reynolds is doing great things for the Bronx. In regards to Reynolds for Johnson, not really different sides of the field. South sort of structure a little bit where Cody pretty much takes the left side, Cody Walker, that is, and the right side half, which was Reynolds, takes right, and Cody sort of more swept right than Reynolds swept left, if that makes sense. And the way Latrell's playing at the moment, he's a left-sided player as well, left foot, left kick, I think not that he'll score more, but I don't think Reynolds leaving hurts AJ because he doesn't score a lot of kicks anyway.
Yeah,
Alex Johnston, like he's more of like cut out ball from Latrell or Cody or from the centre.
Okay,
so happy with that.
Very happy. Thank you, mate.
Well put together, Skin.
Good
stuff. You are just every week. You surprise me. You're getting better. Bloody good.
Cheers. Working on it.
Doesn't get any better than that.
You've made that joke a lot of times.
You still haven't told
I still
him.
don't get it. What?
Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of Pearl Jam.
Great.
But I mean, that's
relevant.
That was completely out of context.
That's why was I gonna get that?
I haven't told anyone about my ham sandwich thing, which you haven't heard before as well.
Yeah, that was actually really quite funny. I hadn't heard that. I feel like I'm an idiot for not having heard that.
Well, you're a vegan, so I don't
have to tell people now. And it's already been quite a long episode.
So I guess I'll try and speed that up. I think Gode got in here at 7:29 for a 7:30 start recording as per. Lethal asked him to close the door because it's a bit cold, and the front door, that is, Gode looked at the back door, which was also open, and said, "Well, what's that? A ham sandwich?" Which I've never heard. So yeah, I got a chat.
And then told us that his 4-year-old son also says that.
He also says fuck sometimes as well, but that's another story.
That's also not surprising.
That's his mother's fault.
Oh, that really tickled me because she just doesn't swear at all.
Oh, she swears at you.
Yeah, at me, but never at Dom. In front of Dom. Certainly at Dom, under her breath.
You say that.
You're doing this segment.
Oh, yeah. What's the segment? What am I up to? You're in for a tweet. Is that right?
Did you see how quick I was on the button?
Wow.
Yeah.
And we got the name right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at us go.
We'll throw a bit of cross promo over to the Grey Cricket Boys for this one as well.
Yeah, they'll appreciate it.
They'll probably jump on board as well. Anyway, it's like a newspaper heading. It's got Kate Moss, and then it's got, what's that? A colon. Is it a colon?
Yeah.
No.
Two dots.
Two dots. That's a colon.
Yeah. And all the heading says is, I can tell a wrong and a mile away. I'm assuming she was talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. I think she had something to do with that. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. But the heading was, I can tell a wrong and a mile away. And the Grey Cricket Boys have tweeted, Rabin also said this after getting bowled in his final test innings. He got bowled by wrong for 0.
Yeah, that was when who was he standing next to?
Ruby saw that, though, didn't he?
He was at the non-strike.
Yeah, Babe Ruth bowled it. You've been on fire tonight,
well
Mitchell.
If she can teach me to pick a wrong, then that'd be greatly appreciated.
I've already told you, half an hour with me, you'll be bloody playing ones in no time, mate.
No, get me over there.
And
you have to come to me.
They can't be wrong if you don't let them bounce, Skin. Just run at everything.
Good point.
Can't be wrong if they don't bounce either, Skin, which is probably what you're facing as well.
What?
I don't know.
Did you not just say the same thing he said?
Sort of, but I mean funnier.
Okay, right.
You know how you said the same joke and I told it funnier? Same thing.
That makes sense. Gotcha.
Rightio, that's another week of the Chocolates podcast complete. We welcome you to be a part of the Chockies crew and get around us on the socials or get in touch at the website.
Yep, that's wegotthechocolates.com.au. The socials are obviously Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, etc. We're just We Got the Chocolates. And if you've got something podcast specific, try and get it to our email. Hello at wegotthechocolates.com.au.
Dang.
Ran out of breath there.
Jump on our YouTube as well. YouTube's flying at the moment. 40,000 subs.
Oh, yeah.
Save your legs. You're going flying along. Yeah. So jump on, give a comment. I'll read them. I'll try and respond, but sometimes it says you're not logged in. I don't know my password, so it doesn't matter.
I'm pleased that you still haven't sorted that out. It's great consistency.
No, you know what? I'm a busy man. I did that segment yesterday, remember?
That's right. Yeah. On a Sunday. You got paid Sunday rates for that.
0% of 0. That's awesome.
From Gode, Mitch, and myself, thank you so much for listening. We love making this, and we're very glad that you do listen. Remember that if you're finding a way to have a laugh with your mates throughout the week, you are absolutely getting the chocolates. We will speak to you this time next week. And as always, best wishes in the future. That's nice.
Well, that's the podcast. So what the hell are you still doing here? Go and get the chocolates, you marvelous beast.